All right, well, we're on to the next step with this, and the next step is we're actually going to paint this motor. I know there's been a lot of talk on how to paint it, brush it, spray it, whatever. We're actually going to clean this, we're going to prime it, and we're going to spray it. We're going to use a good engine paint. That's one of the methods we're going to do on this. So basically what we got to do is we got to get this cleaned up. We got to get it taped off, blown out, all that type of stuff, and get to painting. So with this 521, the pan's on there. We got actually the cam's already in. Jimmy went ahead and got that set up, got it degreed. Everything's perfect with that. So now we're going to make this thing look good because it's going to sound good and it's going to perform good. So what we're going to do is we're going to get at it. We're going to get cleaning, taping, painting. So we will see you guys soon. All right, so you can see Jimmy and I went ahead and got the engine cleaned. We just used a typical lacquer thinner, and instead of wiping it down, we blew it off with air. That really helps out. Went around, taped everything off, plugged the holes, and now it's time to paint. First step is we're going to use a VHT high temp engine enamel primer, and then we're going to use a duplicolor engine enamel with ceramic. Withstands heat up to 500 degrees. I hope this motor never hits 500 degrees. And then we're going to finish it off with the flame-proof VHT satin clear so it doesn't chip. Like I said, we didn't brush this. There's a couple of reasons why. One being time. The other part being is I kind of want to see how this is going to hold up versus the brush. So we're going to go ahead and get primering. We're going to go ahead and get painting, and we will see you soon. All right, well, I'm done primering this engine. I'm going to let it sit for about 30, 40 minutes. Just a little bit of a tip. When you do this, you don't want it too cold, usually above 55, 60 degrees. And in best case scenarios, you want the lower humidity with this. Today, it's actually about 55 degrees outside. We got the door open so that it doesn't get everywhere. And it's low humidity, so it'll probably be 30, 45 minutes. I did go through a can of the engine enamel, the VHT high temp primer. Kind of laid it on there a little heavy. If you do notice though, we did get everything taped off nicely. All the areas that you don't want to get tape on. One of that being, it's my preference. I taped around the oil pan drain nut. Just don't want any paint on that. It really doesn't matter, but I want a nice clean surface when I put a socket on it. Another thing is here, if you notice, I did use an oil filter to go over here. You can tape that off. But this is one I had laying around. It's a brand that I particularly don't like, so it's the Sacrificial oil filter. Screwed it on, got it all set up, painted. So yeah, that's where we're at. I know there's always the talks about paint versus the brush-on method. I would have liked to have done the brush-on method with this, probably should have. But in all reality, it does take a lot longer to dry. I'm not really 100% worried about this thing lasting on here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So I made the decision, you know what, we're just going to spray it. We're going to clean it the old school way, the way Jimmy's done it for years with really good luck. So basically, it's just a really good engine enamel primer. I went with VHT this time. And the next step will be, obviously, is going to be the engine enamel with clear. This is a duplicolor. This usually does run around $9, $10, $11 a can, so might want to go sparingly with it as much as you can. I'm going to probably do 2 coats of this on here. The first one a little bit lighter so it doesn't run, and the second one a little bit heavier to adhere to. Once that dries up, we'll go ahead and clear it, let it sit, and it'll be good to go. Just a little bit of tip here. If you do get paint where you don't want it, you can actually wipe it off with lacquer thinner. If you have to, sand a little bit, but it's fine. This is going into a car that's primarily going to be just, you know, a strip car. It's going to go into that Thunderbird I've got going on. And, you know, the primary build for that is the No Name Nationals. So this isn't a show car. This isn't something like that. It's going to look good. It's going to last for what I need it to. Maybe last even longer. Don't know yet. So that's what we got going on. We're going to get some lunch. This is primered. And, yeah, so we're going to go eat lunch. See you soon. Well, check it out. We're done. It's painted, it's cleared, it's protected, it's ready for more work. It's just one step closer to having this 521 done. So just kind of recap what we did, as you saw, is we cleaned everything very, very well with lacquer thinner, blew it with an air hose, let it dry. It's a very good way to clean it. It's old school, but it does get the contaminants and grease off. After that, we used a good primer that has ceramic in it, sprayed that, a couple light coats, let that dry up. Then, after that was done, we went ahead and layered 2 coats onto this with the duplicolor engine enamel with ceramic in there, letting it dry about 15-20 minutes in between. Like I said, we're getting really lucky today because there is good temperature and very low humidity, so the drying time is fast. So once we got everything done, we went ahead and clear coated it to help adhere all that paint and keep it together. I'm happy with it. I know there's a lot of different methods out there of people painting it, brush on, spray on, you name it. You do what you do what you like. Just make sure you do the preparation on this and the results. We did go with the spray application other than brushing. That was kind of the initial plan. I know it has really good long-lasting results, but just because of some timing things and a lot of stuff I have going on, decided to go on just with the spray method. I think it looks good. And you know what? We're ready to do a lot more work on this 521. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Looks nice. Looks a lot better. So yeah, we'll see you soon. And yeah, hope you like it. Have a good one.